What's up, guys? Today I want to go over the best audio settings and the best everything for audio and how to master sound whoring in this game. It could be one of the most frustrating things about Siege, vertical sound and all that, but just by tweaking a few settings and just learning the sounds and learning how staircases work can really help you out. So hopefully this helps you out. We're going to go over everything from settings to start with, your type of headphone and how you should tweak your settings based on your headphone. And then of course, in-game tips such as, staircases and stuff that can actually help you get better at sound whoring in Siege. So let's hop into the settings. So obviously everything starts with your settings. Most of the stuff here you don't need to tweak. Obviously your language, I would turn off subtitles except if you like them. For some reason, just to hear the call outs of the operators, it could be helpful, but I find it distracting. Master volume 100, of course, your Windows volume should be 100 as well. And then most headsets or headset decks, they will have a audio tweaker that you can make to your preference. Don't blow out your ears, but don't make it too quiet. That's all I could say about the master volume. Your goal is not to go deaf, it's to be able to hear. So however loud you need to do it. For me, this works 100 Windows, and then I have it a little turned up on my headset. I don't know what that's equivalent to on your headset, but that's all I could say about master volume. Music volume, I turn it off because I don't want to hear this. I hate that. I actually kind of like the seasons, but I still don't want to hear it. And dialogue, I turn that down to 50. That is basically the operators or the guy when there's 15 and 30 seconds left that's just screaming in your ear. If it's at 100, it will be pretty intimidating, and that's what I feel like a lot of things happen. Whenever it says 15 seconds, everyone starts shaking. That's what I've noticed, and just starts rushing sight. By having it down a little bit, it less intensifies the situation, and you can actually chill out, make smart decisions. And now for the setting that really matters, we have dynamic range. So there's hi-fi, TV, and night mode. Which one should you pick? So hi-fi is the most dynamic in range. So it has the most range. So everything is loud, but it also makes really loud sounds really loud and really far away sounds really quiet. So a footstep from further away is going to be really quiet compared to the other two settings, which is TV and night mode. I think TV, you shouldn't really pick this setting because it's just kind of in the middle of the two. I think you either go hi-fi or night mode. I personally like night mode because it turns down really loud sounds like gunfire, explosions, reinforcements. Those can be shrieking loud, and it keeps the footsteps the same. So all footsteps go up while gun sounds go down. And obviously footsteps are your number one indicator of where other people are. So that's why I choose night mode. But if for some reason you really like, the gunshots or being able to hear barricades really clearly, then that might be your way to go at hi-fi. But night mode, I use footsteps primarily, especially with the roles that I play. Finally, the voice chat volume, I turn that down a little bit, just a few decibels down. So 85, so 15 down here. That's just because teammates are, either really loud or really quiet, but I just like 85. It keeps them not screeching in my ear, and I would rather hear the game over my teammates or over the announcer. So that's where I keep these settings. You could probably even turn it down a little bit, but some mics are quiet. So I just want to be able to hear everyone on my team, assuming they're even using comms. So I think the second most important thing when going into gaming, any game, is picking the right headset. So there's three real types of headset there. There is open back headset, closed back headset, then there's semi open back headset, which is the one I have. But basically all that means is closed back are good for whenever you don't want anyone to hear your game or anything. But in most situations, as in if you're just playing in your room or playing in the den or whatever, it doesn't matter if people hear your game really. It opens the back, leaves more airflow to your ears, so your ears won't sweat as much, which is a nice thing. So comfort, number one there with open back, and then sound is also preferred with open back or semi-open back. Open backs definitely sound much better, and it'll help you pinpoint exactly where enemies are, especially in Siege. But for any game, these are the headsets to go with. Just remember that most of these gaming headsets are closed backs, while the more studio style headphones, I guess, would be considered open back. And they'll say it in their description. If you're shopping on Amazon, I'll have mine down below, which are semi-opens, and they're only like $30 and they work really well. They will be under like my gaming tier list or my gaming setup, whatever that is under, and then scroll down and it'll be there. It's the Samsung SR850, I believe, and they're only like $30-40 and they are semi open back. But one thing to keep in mind is usually the studio style headphones do not have a microphone. And if you need a built-in microphone over like if you have a free mounted microphone like I do, like a Blue Yeti or whatever, you have a microphone that's not connected to your headset. Basically, you might want to go with a Astro or something, but those are very expensive. So you might be better off getting a nice headset or a nice audio microphone like a Blue Yeti or something, plus getting a headset like mine, which would probably cost you about the same at the end of the day. Plus you get a really high quality microphone. So basically, in short, what you should be looking for, don't get any like 7.1 stereo headsets. That is not good. A lot of HyperX stuff is like that. No bueno there. Go with a semi open back or a open back. It'll really improve your soundstage, which gives you a better directional idea of where they are. And it creates a more surround soundy feel without actually being surround sound and screwing with your ears like 7.1 will. Some other companies you could look at, you could also look at like Audio Technica. Those are good headsets, but they're just more expensive. I went with the cheaper one because I find sound important, but not $300 important. And finally, before we get into the game, I know you guys want more in-game things, but do not use little earbuds. I know the pros use it, but they use really high quality ones. Just go look at Bolo's chat, for example, and hit exclamation point headphones or whatever, and he has like $140 little earbuds. And the only reason they really use it, besides maybe some comfort, is because they have to at LAN events. For you guys, average players, just use a open back headset. It's cheaper, it's more effective, and earbuds kind of suck if they aren't really high quality, like an Apple Pair or something. I used to use those, and once I got a headphone, it kind of changed the whole game for me. So I think the first step into getting really good at sounds in Siege is you have to just realize what sounds your own player is making. So everything in this game makes sounds, from obviously walking, right? Running. It depends on what the speed operator. This is a 2-speed 2 armor with Valk, but the fatter you get, the 1 speeds are really loud, obviously. So as for sounds, let's just go over sounds that we know and what people try to do to mask sounds that don't work. So, I mean, simple things like aiming down your sight. Other people can hear this too. It's not just a client side thing. Everyone can hear this. Switching to cams, right? So this, you can hear that little click. So can other people. Aiming down sights, turning a 90-degree angle, leaning. Everything can be heard in this game. So you need to understand that and understand what sounds they make. Crouching makes a different sound than laying down. As you can see, crouching, laying down. So just by learning these sounds, it can make you better understand how other players sound and know how to sound whore them. So that, I think, is the first step in anything whenever you're trying to learn Siege. The next step is to hop into a terrorist hunt and practice listening to the sounds that you are already aware of. I went ahead and started a terrorist hunt on disarm bomb. I don't think that really matters too much on when you go with, but this has a lot of enemies. I kill like 50 every time I do disarm bomb, and terrorists make the same sound as normal players. So I would recommend putting a headset on, or maybe the headset that you use on, just so you get a better idea. And we're not doing this to try to get the most kills. We're trying to use it for sound cues. So where is that reinforcement, right? That is some judgment that it could be so subjective, but it's like, it's really obvious once you get to know what it is. There's gonna be a lot of enemies here, so I'm gonna have to kill people, but just in general, you get to hear where people are. And sometimes it becomes really hard. But as you can hear with night mode activated, footsteps are really loud. So I want to be quiet here and we're just going to listen to the footsteps.
Now's our chance. Press forward.
So you can hear every movement they're doing. They are doing literally crouch turns right now, and that's where I can hear them in. I can literally hear them inside of the office, which is absolutely insane. And that really correlates to just game sense and knowing where stuff is. It's hard to do with this many enemies, honestly. There are so many people. I should have done a normal terrorist hunt just for this example, because there are so many people. And it's usually easier whenever the bombs are separated, but reinforcements by doorways can be very tricky. As we went back there, you didn't really know if they were on this one, and it's kind of hard to know what side they are on. So as you guys can hear, I'm gonna go through here and we're just gonna do a little sound test. I'm gonna be completely quiet. I want you to guess which way they are. They're gonna be this way or this way, and then once we get to the door, they're gonna be that way or that way. So we're gonna judge that. So I'm gonna shut up and we're just gonna walk really slowly. So no sound yet. So there's no one here unless if they are standing still. Now you start hearing things, right? The right side of fountains or the left side of fountains? Obviously, you shot at me. But you can hear the shots being reloaded into the weapon, very loud. And now he's pushing closer, so that was him. And you know, from a perspective like this, the only thing you could really tell from sound alone from that situation is he was somewhere within that. He was not any closer. He was somewhere between there. As for what side of it's on, it's very hard to determine based on game sound alone, and I think that's pretty realistic. You won't know exactly where someone is just based off of, you know, hearing someone in a room that does echo since it's this big. No sound treatment here, no carpet, no anything, so it's pretty realistic that you heard something within the tile area. If it would have been louder, it would have started getting really loud, and Hi-Fi really does a good job at making the footsteps loud. So if I plant this bomb, there's going to be like 40 people that come after us and we'll get a better idea. I recommend this terrorist hunt a lot if you're trying to warm up, get a better shot. There's so many people that's beyond sound. But it helps warm up your sound. Like your first game on it, not only does it warm up your game sense a little bit with planting the bomb strategically, hearing people, and your aim. So that's just a lot of things that there's a big benefit on. It's hard to see whenever I'm talking, or hard to hear whenever I'm talking over myself. But there, you heard that window. It's right here. Oh boy, here they come. But anyways, the defusal sound, everything is so much easier in this game whenever you have good ears. And that's what I'm just trying to showcase with the gameplay, really. Uh-oh, we have no ammo. So if you hear that, that's left. I don't know if I hear another footsteps. I think I hear another one left, but we'll see. Yep, sitting on the stairs. But another thing to note is that whenever you make holes through walls, if you see this in game, people doing this with walls, they like knife it a few times or whatever. Because if you do that, you could hear sound through the wall better, even whenever you reinforce it. So if I were to, you know, have a shotgun, break a bunch of holes here, or just do what I'm doing right here, and then reinforce it, I would be able to hear through this wall better, which can be misleading at some points. So I think that's best for bandit tricking in specific. But basically, that's all I could say for sound whoring in game. It just takes practice, and I think terrorist hunt's a great way to learn footsteps and such, and that's the best way to correlate it into game, other than just playing the game, of course. But I would rather test out my sound on a terrorist hunt rather than a real ranked game and risk losing elo over me not being able to identify a sound from another. So I always just warm up with this, and it warms up my sound and gets my sound better every time I play. So it really helps whenever there's 10 enemies coming in sight. And we're just gonna leave this off at one more of these plants here, and I just want you to test yourself here with night mode stereo on and see if you like the way it sounds for you. And if it doesn't sound clear for you, you probably have the wrong headset, because it is clear as day for me. So with that out of the way, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and I will see you in the next video. But don't leave yet, because we're going to be going into this sound test.
action. 45 seconds.